Hi, everybody. I am so glad you're here joining me today for our new study, Sermon on the Tower. We're going to be studying Mosiah chapters 2 through 5 and the Sermon of King Benjamin. I've been looking forward to this study for a long time. So as we get started, for the first week of our study, we're going to be reading Mosiah chapter 2, verses 1 through 14. And this is just the very beginning of King Benjamin's sermon. You see everyone coming and gathering at the temple, and his introduction to the people and he explains why he's invited everybody to come. So when I first read this opening of the sermon, I think, wow, this is a lot like a stake conference that everybody is invited to. King Benjamin has his son Mosiah send out a huge proclamation to the whole nation. Everybody come. Everybody listen. We have, the king wants to talk to everybody. This is really important. We really want you here. So think about when your area has a stake conference or a regional conference or an area conference or something like that. How important is it to you to go to that conference? Is it really that important to hear from your stake leadership and your area leadership? Do you put a lot of value on what they have to say to you, on the gospel principles they're going to teach you, and how they're going to liken the gospel and the scriptures to you and to your needs, to the needs of your ward and your stake and your branch and the area that you live in? Do you value what they have to say and the inspiration that they've received for you and your area? You don't see anybody in this sermon, in these chapters in the Book of Mormon, saying, "Oh no, it's just another thing the king wants to do. Nah, I'm not gonna go." But often we do know of members in our area who go, "Nah, stake conference, it's not for me. I've heard all of it before. It's a day off for me. They're not going to say anything I don't already know." And I think that's really sad, because the stake leadership, they are called and set apart to lead and guide the church membership in your area. And they have the right to receive divine inspiration from the Lord for you and for your ward and for your area, and specifically regarding the things that your ward is going through, struggles that people in your ward may have, or that your area may have, or just the city you live in, and current situations that are going on in the city, and how that affects the membership in your area. How would the stake presidency address those concerns? Those are some things that happen in stake conference. And it is so important that we attend those meetings. One, to support our leadership, because that is something that we do promise to do as we make our baptismal covenants and temple covenants, is to uphold the members of our stake leadership, of our ward leadership. And second of all, I personally want to know what my stake leadership is inspired to tell me, to teach me. They pray very hard, and they study a lot, and seek out and fast for inspiration for what the Lord wants them to say to you at these conferences. And that's exactly what we see in Mosiah. King Benjamin did the exact same thing. He's telling his people something the Lord specifically wants them to know. And we will see that more as we go through this study, that he's at one point he's quoting verbatim something an angel has told him about Jesus Christ and about the gospel. And he's like, I really need to tell you this. This is really important. An angel has said, I got to tell this to you. So everybody goes to the temple in Zarahemla to go to this conference. And it's so this conference it's so important. They're building a tower. They're making sure that everybody hears the words that the king is speaking, and everybody who can't, they're going to write down all the words and send them out to the people. They want to make a head count of everybody, but there's so many people, I don't think they're even able to do it. So everybody comes, and not only do they just come and get their families assembled and everything and get ready to listen, they bring they bring animals so they can make sacrifices at the temple. They think, well, goodness, we're going to the temple. We might as well make it worth our while and not waste this opportunity to have a really good spiritual moment at the temple and worship there. And they prepare themselves spiritually for this meeting, for this conference. So that made me think, what can we do to prepare for conference, for state conference, for general conference? What can we do in our own lives to prepare for general conference? So that's something I want you to think about. And then as King Benjamin starts his address, he lists a lot of key points of being a good leader. What does it mean to be a good leader? And he says, it's really funny because I see in these first few verses that he's like, look, I didn't ask to be your king. I was anointed to be your king. My father chose me to be your king. It's not something, excuse me, it's not something I was seeking out, but I embraced what was given to me, and I've done my very best. I'm not perfect. I have faults, but I've done my best, and these are the things I've done to help you and to be a good leader for you. So as you read this, I want you to look for those key points he brings up on what it is to be a good leader. What does a good leader look like? Why did everybody love King Benjamin so much? And that they all wanted to come and listen to what he had to say. Why was he so endearing to them? And here's another question for you. Do you find it endearing when a leader points out how he's not perfect, how he's not looking for status? He's just looking to serve you and to do his best, and he's making himself more of, I don't know, more of a common man, I guess, saying, I have been endowed from on high with from God with blessings and being sustained as an apostle or a general authority or something. I have been sustained, and I have been given this assignment and this mantle and stuff, but I'm still like you. I still have faults. I still have weaknesses, and it's still something. I still have things that I work with every day, and I battle with, and I pray for, and things I try to overcome. So my question is that endearing to you? Does that make that leader all the more precious and special to you because he speaks to you more one-on-one and heart-to-heart kind of thing? What do you think about that? So those are some of the main points in this first week of the Sermon on the Tower study. I want to know what you think about those questions, so leave comments in the section below. And I also want to hear what you think about our study this week. So share what you've read, thoughts you've had, impressions you've got. Share other scriptures that come to your mind, or general conference talks that you're like, oh, this really makes me think of when Elder so and so, said this. Share those things. I want to hear it, and I know our other sisters want to hear from you and what you have to say. So I really hope you enjoy this study. I'm so excited to do this with you, and you have a great week. Bye bye.